I don't do that.
Well, no, but and
we
the
will.
fact that they are out there, there's...
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to call the meeting of the Planning Board, Narragansett Planning Board, Tuesday, October 21st, 6 p.m. Before we get into just some logistics, folks, understand there are microphones and cameras over your heads, so whatever conversations you're having, they can pick up and they can hear it at home, so be aware. Excuse me. When it's time to speak, if you could do me a favor and go up and stand at the podium, that way there's a camera on you and we can better hear and the people at home can see you. All right? Okay. Call to order, please. Roll
Dr.
call.
O'Neill.
Here.
Thomas Callahan.
He's absent with reason.
Stephen D. Simone.
Here.
Mark Brady.
Here.
Rupert Friday.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have 4 members present. You have a quorum.
Okay, as we have a quorum and everyone's heard, we're going to go. I'm going to defer Chairman's announcements to the end of the meeting. I'm going to move E4, folks. Santa Kingston Road minor subdivision, lots 5 lots, owner Turgrosa, up to the top. And I'm going to turn that over to Jill and staff. The reason why I'm doing so, if you're here for this, I don't want you to have to sit through everything. This has already been approved and everything, it just has to publicly go on the record, and that's all it's going to handle here.
Okay, you just did it.
It's not official if it doesn't come from you.
Santa Kingstown Road was our first 5-lot subdivision that was done administratively, meaning it was done signed off by the administrative officer and did not come to the board. Previous subdivision regulation state law changed, which allows subdivisions, we can get into it at a different time, but virtually any number at this point, but up until 9 when this one went through administratively without any review by the planning board. So this was a straight 5-lot subdivision with one lot starting off with 1 house on it. 4 lots were subdivided off, all compliant with zoning, all the correct size, all the correct lot width, and one of the requirements of the law is that we report out to the planning board when it's done. And I've actually mentioned this a couple of times as it's moved through, because it is the first one that's been done without any public notification, without any notification to the abutters, and without any review by this board. So happy to report, it's all done, all set, and it's at the corner for your, I think I put it in here, right? The address on here somewhere? Yeah. So it's at the corner of Kingstown Road and Lakewood Drive.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to say something for the public at home and here. This is not an exception to the rule. This is the new rule. This was pushed through by the House, and there are more to come. It was actually expanded as far as the numbers that will qualify for this, the number of homes in the subdivision. One of the things that we, as a board, really were frantic about, and still are, is the fact that the apparent lack of transparency. So we've asked for some mechanism that it at least come here for announcement. That's what we're doing here, and hopefully it will continue in the future. Okay, Doc?
Yeah. So the public is the people around that subdivision, unlike the normal process here, are not notified anymore.
No.
So when the shovel and the machines
Yes.
all show up, it's like, what has happened in my neighborhood? Is
Yes,
that
Dr.
right?
Neal, correct.
I don't know whose idea was that?
I can blame a lot of people now.
Oh.
Touche. Game point match. Yeah, we, as a board, we had real issues with this, and really it was the notification issue and the transparency issue. The staff is more than capable of taking care of the technical parts, but this is going to be the new world going forward. So, anybody else on the board? Okay, all right. We have a pre-application tonight. Pre-application is really just a conversation between the applicant and us. There is no decision, there's no expectations of a decision. It's really for them to say, here's what we're thinking, for the board to come back and say, here's our concerns going forward. If you come back to us in a formal setting, these may come up, you may want to address these before it comes up. I will ask for legal, and I will ask the petitioners We live in the same neighborhood. We are casual, hello, how are you? I've got, as a friend of mine said, I have a perverse sense of the ethics rules, and I believe that even a perception of ethics violation is an ethics violation. But council, is this presented ethics, that we live in the same neighborhood and we have a hi, how are you relationship?
Well, recusal is always something that is personal.
Yep.
So if you feel, as any member feels as though they can be fair, unless the connection is financial or relative or something, then it's a matter of your own concern about your own behavior.
Right.
So if I don't like my neighbor, I guess maybe I might not be a good person to judge them. And if I really think they're great people and go to the birthday parties all the time for the kids, the same might be true, but it doesn't sound like that's the case now.
No, we Metatuxet is big and we live at one extreme to another.
Yeah.
In
No, I don't
fact,
think it's fun.
I just found their house.
But at this point, it's just a conversation.
It's
so
totally
there's no
just a
reason for you to recuse
Yeah.
yourself at this meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
And anybody who knows me knows I speak my mind regardless, and I just deal with facts. I go to the board on this. Are you comfortable with me still sitting in on this?
Of course. Mark, if I had to recuse for every, I've been here for 40 years. There's two people in the room that I know too. I'm not planning on recusing myself. Hi Carl, hi Steve. You know.
You're not,
I'm sorry for both of you.
So am I.
you're not like judging Halloween decorations?
No, I don't do the Halloween decorations, yes. But you gave them a thumbs up, I believe.
Definitely.
Okay. Folks, if you haven't figured it out, we try to be comfortable and casual with this. We don't fight. Folks, are you representing yourself? Do you have somebody representing you? Okay.
Not at this time, not
Okay.
for this meeting.
Okay. If you'd like to come up, either of you or both of you. So the request here is an application review of a two-lot subdivision proposed on Assessor's Plat NG Lot 352. The parcel is 12,000 square feet in area and supports a single-family dwelling at present. The zoning for the site is R10. The applicant is requesting to subdivide the lot, the existing merged lot, into two separate parcels, each 6,000 square feet. The area of the lot approximately 60-foot frontage. The coverage sheet narrated, okay, documents submitted, surrounding land use. The site is located in Metatuxet neighborhood and is surrounded by residential dwellings. It is located in R10. Residential zoning district and currently occupied on one structure supporting a single-family home. The goal here is to create a second home, a single-floor, handicap accessible, so that they can move into that. And then the intent is, we'll figure out what the intent is for the main house. But you are going to live on the property, and as the need comes, try and let you talk how much you want to talk about the need. But as the needs comes, you will migrate to the other dwelling, if it's approved. Is this kind of Reader's Digest version of everything?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Our present address is
Is
45.
that microphone on?
There are no microphones.
There is no
Yeah, what
microphone.
happened? We on the short end of the budget this week?
I can raise it up.
Yeah, you need, just
Well, no, I can
project.
hear you, but because you're facing me, but
Yeah,
maybe those
just-
people can.
Oh.
Just project.
We
Yeah,
currently live at 45 Inkberry, and we have the adjacent lot of 47 that's been there for quite a while. We have been blessed with an expanding family, and 45 has gotten very small for us when our kids come down. Neither one of them live around. We now have grandchildren and all the paraphernalia that goes with having grandchildren. So we one day just said, hey, why don't we think about putting something up on 47 that is handicapped accessible, because none of us are getting any younger, and the goal would be, if we're going to spend this kind of money, to make it something that we can age in place. I think it's fair to say that as people get older, your goal is to stay in your home for as long as you possibly could. So our emphasis has been on, it wouldn't be, 47 would not be a single family, one floor unit. It would be two, and there's a reason why we're doing it that way. Our son is proposing to move down with his family and move into 45. And the good news is he has a young child, at some point would be hitting the school system. After reading this report, I understand that that's also an issue here with declining enrollment in school. So that's a plus on that. But then when our daughter comes from Boston with her kids, they can go upstairs to the second floor of what would be our new home. Our function for what we need would all obviously be first level. We're entertaining the possibility of maybe putting an elevator in, but our goal is to not live on the second floor. Our goal is to have, when our kids come down or our friends come down, have them be able to stay there. So that's basically what got us going on this, is just life in general and the whole aging process. And we thought about doing it to 45, but we did have somebody come over and take a look at it, and they were just like, if you can build another structure and let somebody else. You know, my son is handy, and if he were to move in there, he can, do what he wants. But that's initially what we're thinking. We did have a survey done, and we know there's some question about the correct number of lots we were or were not in compliance with, okay? But for the purpose of tonight, it says 12 lots.
We'll let the staff address that.
Oh, okay. So anyway, that's the long and the short of what got us going on this and why we would like to, the possibility of exploring this option be available to us.
Our main goal though was, Patty's being somewhat humble, she walks with a walker inside of our house and a cane. We have no intention, either one of us, of going to a nursing home. And we can't stay in this house. She's turning 70 next week. She robbed the cradle on me, but I'm close. And
We didn't notice that.
Having the first floor handicap accessible with wider doorways, we are going to put a elevator shaft in if we get approval, because I can see long-term, I'm thinking long-term, but yeah, the first floor is all going to be handicap, open floor plan. We have the plans, and it started without the widened the doorways and the hallways widened, but that's our main goal here. The other stuff is, it'd be great if we build another house and we got a place for the kids, but our main goal is for us to have a handicap accessible home, which from a few of our architect friends would be difficult to do in a 1,000 square foot, one level home that we have now. And
Right.
that's it.
Staff, can you talk to us about any variances or any relief that they would need from this board and the zoning board to do this, please?
So this application would come before you as a minor subdivision under Unified Development Review. It would not go to the zoning board.
Correct.
This would be, there's a couple in the race right now, but it could potentially be the first one that comes through you under the state's new expedited process for one-stop shop, as opposed to just going to, here for master, zoning for relief, back for prelim, and then back. That being said, as a pre-app, I did, as just a matter of courtesy, try to send it out to the different departments, engineering, public works, the building official's office, our legal department. I did not hear back from the building official's office officially, but by looking at it and having worked in the town for a couple of years, it looks, I took an educated guess and said, okay, they may need the lot area variance, and they may need, is it lot area?
Frontage?
And, yeah, no, I think it was width, Dr. Neal. Let me look in here real quick, because they did write it in here.
There's some tiny lots in that.
Yeah, so, pardon me, it's 1, 2, 3, the fourth bullet. Lot area and potentially lot width variance may be necessary for their preferred alternative, but I would defer to the building official on any additional or anything else that he may flag.
I just asked that so you folks know what could be coming, okay?
Right.
I've been in conversations with both,
have no
Mr.
doubt.
Goudreau and Ms.
I gotta say this because we're in public now. I gotta
Okay.
pretend to be in charge.
We also have been in touch with the, Pat is more so than I have with the state, talking about the new quote-unquote setbacks of, you know, lots that are, you know, that were originally R10s, and then, you know, to help move along building within the state, as you know, you do face it every day. And that's what the other reason why we got us thinking in doing this was that the setbacks were changing according to the state. That's what we had thought. So, and then you and I have had discussions with Patty and everything. And we're looking for advice on where we could go, what we can plan on, if we can do this. And you recommended, you know, about having this original
Sure.
informal information meeting.
But there is something that kind of caught my eye in the Crane report, because the Crane report has been hotly discussed lately. And I believe there could be possibly some relief in the sense of, on page 4 of the Crane report clearly identifies ways to fix some of the housing problems down here and some of the situations the town has found themselves in. And under housing infill, it talks about there's 99 underutilized parcel R10 zones in this town that, you know, could be utilized for housing. And I think we're probably one of them. But it also, what I found interesting here, it talks about the aging population of this community. So we are not the only people that are going to be at some point saying, you know, we need to adjust our house to the age that we're at and the lifestyle that we live. The difference is we're trying to do it on a vacant piece of land and start from scratch. But I just found the report after reading it to be kind of interesting in identifying some of the situations that we've all found, you know, to be hot subjects in this town.
So as I see it, the existing house would be on one side 8.1 feet and the other side 7.8 feet on the setback based on the subdivision.
So,
Of the two
Mr. Chairman, that hasn't been vetted by the building official
Okay,
yet.
that's what I was
So
gonna ask.
That's one of those things that's out there where
All right.
I'm talking with
Thank you.
Mr. Craven, and I need to speak with Mr. Pimentel.
Okay. All right, so I'm just looking at the two setbacks based on that. Okay. Doc, questions, concerns, issues, complaints?
No, it's problem of life and aging. And,
It is.
you can tell by my gray hair, I'm very aware of these situations. It's a very
Yes.
good,
He's only 47, he just hasn't aged.
and yeah, a family member put in a one-floor elevator. It's not that, well, I shouldn't say it's not that expensive. What isn't expensive today? Probably Steve here might be able to tell us. But in any case, right, it's, you know, one floor, it's very useful.
Rupert?
Yeah, so I'll start with my birthday is next week as well, so maybe we're the same day.
Well.
Same age, yes. But I guess I have a question for staff. So does CRMC see this as an area of development beyond capacity, or is this something that would come up that way?
I'm not sure what you're referring to, Mr. Friday?
Doesn't CRMC have areas?
I don't believe Metatuxa is an area developed beyond carrying capacity,
Okay,
but it is within, and I mentioned that.
I saw it in the
You
floodplain.
did.
Yeah, it is within the Narrow River Special Area Management Plan,
Yeah.
and I can confirm that
Yeah.
just for the record when it comes back, sure.
But
But
when I,
no, Jill, excuse me, just to elaborate on that, when last time we checked with Coastal Resources Management, our property was not in a flood zone.
No, it is not.
We're not.
Correct.
So it's just that whole narrow river.
yeah, so when I,
And what that, I'm sorry, Mr. Friday,
Yeah.
my apologies, and what that means is for any development project that's happening within that area, that the Narrow River Preservation Association requires notification. So I put that in there so that if there was, when the new house is being
They're
constructed, if
they're
it comes for
notified.
relief, then it
Yeah.
would, the town would, hopefully they've signed up for Notify Me, but the town should also be notifying.
Right.
And they may or may not weigh in on something of this nature.
Yeah, it seems-
Yeah, it's, the area goes from Route 1 all the way to the river,
Yeah.
or Route 1A all the way to the river.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so when I look at the lots, I mean, it's similarly sized to all the other lots in that street pretty much, so it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Okay. Steve?
Sure. So, yeah, I see why you gotta come to us, because despite, it does look similarly sized to most of them, but I actually was talking to Mark about this the other day. The new state law that would have allowed you to unmerge without seeking variances and such, you need to be, more than half of the lots need
Right.
to be. But what ends up happening is you've got a bunch of corner lots by you.
Right.
So even though those are single lots that were developed at the same time as your lots, because they're corner lots, they had extra setbacks from both roads, so they ended up being slightly larger in square footage than the two lots that you guys owned before they were forced merged. Which I assume, did you own them when they were forced merged?
My
Okay, so
uncle did.
your uncle did, okay. So, in any event, that's what's gonna throw a wrench into most people trying to do this, is you're gonna end up with a few lots that, despite them being single lots, will be bigger. So that's why you're here.
That
I'm
is-
happy to see you. I don't know if you watched last month's meeting, I actually floated an idea about letting people do just this if they were to agree to deed restrict one or both of the properties to not be rented for a period of less than 1 year. I'd love to see you do that with one of them, but that's not a regulation, we don't have that on the books. So, I'm not, you don't have to, but I think it would go a long way to help you get some grace from people if you said, hey, either the house my son's gonna end up in or our house, we'll put a rental restriction so it can't become a seasonal rental.
Right, and we have had people in the Metatuxet area that have heard that we're trying to do this, and we have been contacted by them. Some have kids living with, adult children living with them and
Yeah.
grandchildren that have said, hey, if you guys do this, would you consider a year-round rental too?
Yeah.
And, in the report, it also says the problem that all is. So we're open to that. First dibs would always be my son.
Of course.
And, that would always be first dibs. But if he decided to pass, we're not opposed to, we would prefer year-round rentals. What we don't prefer is to sell this property, to go look for something. Because, and we also, one of the reasons we're not gonna sell 45 if we're able to do this is just because of the controversy brewing in town. We want control over who our neighbors are going to be. Okay,
Smart.
we don't want a McMansion next to us. And that's the reason, at our age, do we really need to hang on to two houses? No, we don't. But we do, in a sense.
Yeah.
So that's the whole rationale of how we came to this board.
And I think that's the idea behind the request, because we cannot, and I'm in lockstep with Steve on these. That's why we request that it be, if you're willing to, you don't have to, but if you deed restrict the house so that it would only be a long-term rental of 1 year or more, and not a short-term rental, it goes a long way with us. Just to let you know.
We've discussed this, Jill had asked us this in the first meeting we had. We're not new to town, but we weren't born and raised here, and we know what the rents are. We have, nobody in this room knows us, but we're pretty generous people our whole lives. We do a lot of volunteer work down here, and if we do rent that house, if our son doesn't take the house, you're not gonna see the rents, we're not gonna be charging the rents
We
that,
would like to be fair to people.
we wanna be fair to people. We wanna stop the process of bringing some of these rents down, in
Yeah.
other words, and that's.
It's a lofty goal. I only brought it up because I want to see you do this. I think it's great that you have the ability to do it, or hopefully the ability to do it. I was also going to mention that you could do an ADU, but if you're going to do your son next door, wouldn't it be nicer if he owned the property himself? That would be much better for him, your relationship together. So I think it's great, and I just wanted to put that out there because I know you're also going to ask for another sewer line, and that's
Right.
going to be a problem too. But that's not me. I can't. But You get a lot of grace if you do it year-round.
Steve, tell the audience,
Sorry.
an ADU.
ADU is a
I
accessory
know
dwelling
it is.
unit, I know you guys know.
You know what it is.
But
It has-
Doug wants to let it's a recent addition to the town's regulations. that
But
you
Steve,
can-
excuse
You
me,
can do it, yeah.
I understand we have to do, but we do have the sewer lateral right there, which is also
Yes.
great.
Yeah, of course, but we have a sewer committee in town that you're gonna have to go
Right,
see,
yeah.
and
Right.
you're gonna need a little grace with them, because
Right.
as you know, the sewer system's not in great shape currently,
Right.
although
But
we're
we're
trying to
on the north
update it,
end.
which would be great.
Our sewer runoff goes to the north end, right?
Yes.
And the point, I was at the sewer meeting when the presentation came, because I have friends who live in the affected area, and I wanted to see the proposed plan, so I know what a long-term goal is for that, which is to fix it, but it's a couple years away.
Yeah,
And I
At least.
heard, I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
or longer. And, I know our particular area runs off, is it the URI, is it the?
so South Kingstown runs the plant on Morrisfield
So,
Road, yes, but
I'm not sure, I'm sure if they were built at the same time. The struggles down here, because we weren't born and raised here, the struggles here are not different than what other communities are facing right now. The population's growing, these facilities were built a long time ago, and the challenge now is how to deal with growth and fix all of this stuff. And it's costly to do, and
Yep.
it's a challenge to do. But then again, progress is progress too, so
sure, like I said, I think it's great, I wish you all the best of luck.
thank you,
I hope it works out for you.
thank you.
I just
Thank
thought
you.
that might help you going forward,
Thank you.
and they'll buy you some grace.
And how do we go about doing that?
So I'm assuming you're gonna hire an attorney at some
We are,
point.
we are.
He can explain to you how to deed restrict the property. It's very simple. You just come down to the town hall, to the clerk's office, and you can record an addendum to your deed, and
You want to have a lawyer
it'd be
do it.
easy.
Yep,
Yeah. But you don't want me to do it. You want to have a lawyer. Yeah, Mark's right.
So,
Well,
thank you.
I'm sorry, back to staff. So outside of lot area variance, width variance, because not all of the lots conform to this as far as the area around the 200?
radius.
Yeah. Do they need another variance for that?
No,
No.
no. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if the applicants mentioned, so they did apply for the unmerger, which is
Yep.
an allowance to subdivide administratively. It doesn't even come to our department. It all happens through the building inspections office. But within that 200-foot radius, that they couldn't get the 50% lots, as
Right.
Mr. Simone just mentioned. No, they don't need a variance for that per se, but there may be other. I'm not 100% sure on those setbacks yet. I need to talk to the building official. He's out of the office this week. And as far as the next steps, I believe the applicants mentioned that. So the next steps, I think they are going to hire an attorney.
Yes.
And they will file for a preliminary plan application.
Yep.
I think I've already spoken to them about that process. And then when that is all squared away and they have everything in, they'll come to you for the relief, and then it will be final, and that'll be done administratively.
Okay.
Single hearing?
Oh.
A single hearing?
Yep, it'll be a single, yep,
Public
so it'll
hearing.
be one, so it'll be interesting, Dr. Neal, because as I mentioned, it hasn't been done before, so typically,
Yeah.
master plan, you would vet the
Yeah.
number of units, and then it would go
Yeah.
back to you for recommendation, zoning for approval of the variances, and then it would come back to you for preliminary, and then back to you again, or administrative final. So in this case, it'll be like a two-part hearing, where first you're going to hear, the project based on the relief necessary, because if this board isn't inclined to give the relief, whatever the relief may be, the variance relief necessary, then that's the precursor to whether or not you're going to approve this subdivision. So if you don't grant the applicant relief under the first part of that public hearing, then you can't grant them the subdivision. It'll be a little bit of trial by fire, I think, but I think we'll get it.
And do the neighbors get notified?
Yes, they do.
In this situation?
Yes, they will.
Okay, all right.
Yes, because it is relief.
Okay.
Mhm.
So folks, just so we don't look like amateur hour, this is the first one that's come this under the new laws. And we are trying to digest new laws as we go, and when different things pop up, it's like, okay, that was changed, we have to deal with it this way. So that's why the questions are asked, so we understand, but also so these folks understand. Do you have any questions or concerns or
No.
anything from us? Okay. So you've heard from us. This is not an approval, but you've heard some positive feedback, I think, and some ideas that you may have to get relief from, which would come back to us. Okay?
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
Everybody, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for the advice also.
Okay. Appreciate it.
So that's it?
Next on the docket was Robbins Tax Assessor Plat NS Lot 251, 163 John Gardner Road, and they've asked for a continuance.
That's correct.
We need to take a vote on that. Council?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Just double checking with
Move
you.
to continue.
Second?
I have a second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of continuing?
Aye.
We need a date determined?
Yes.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Motion? Second.
That us?
I need to get the date first.
We need the date.
No, there's not.
Have they requested a date, or are they just
Again,
uncertain?
you don't need to set it now. You should set it, but you don't have to set it.
Right.
I'm told that this was not advertised, so it doesn't need to be.
Okay.
This isn't a public hearing, so you don't need to preserve the notification. It is a public meeting, it's been publicly
Right.
noticed, but it's not a hearing where you need to preserve the notification
Okay.
with a date certain.
All right. How would staff like to handle it, just for
You can send it to
flexibility of
next
calendar?
month.
Okay.
Sure.
So, if I could give a friendly amendment to, addendum to the motion of setting the date for our next scheduled meeting, November 20th.
Agreed. So moved.
Okay. So I have it, you have the notes on, so I have a motion, a seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
20th or 18th, because it's on your agenda, thank you. It's on your agenda as the 18th.
Oh, sorry, the 20th is zoning, it is the 18th.
Oh, so, okay,
I-
18.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
If you would correct that, please. Thank you. All right. Okay. So, next up, 140 Robin Street, LLC, Tax Assessor's Plat H, Lot 65, 140 Robinson Street. The applicant is submitting a request to demolish an existing guest cottage located in a left side yard and construct a one-bedroom accessory dwelling unit, otherwise known as an ADU, that you all learned about today, in the left side yard at the above-mentioned property. This project requires a variance from the dimensional requirements. Existing condition, lot 65 is approximately 29,500 square foot in size. It is located in R10 zoning district and is currently occupied. Existing 24.5 by 60 one-story dwelling and a 30.5 by 15.5 left side yard guest cottage with an accessory stone driveway, a 24 by 36 right side yard barn with an accessory driveway, a 7.8 by 22.8 front yard enclosed porch with stairs, concrete walkway, and an 8 by 18 rear yard screen porch with stairs, an 8.1 by 8.1 rear yard shed, and a rear yard slate patio with stairs and stone walkway. Existing building lot coverage is approximately 3,224 square feet, or 10.9%. Proposal, remove existing left side yard guest cottage, construct a 36 by 13 one-bedroom left side yard accessory dwelling unit. Proposed building lot coverage will be approximately 3,269 or 11%. Okay. It doesn't comply with dimensional regulations, section 6.4, as a left side yard setback proposed is 3.1 feet. 12 feet are required. Okay. Elevation plans indicate the proposed building height is 11 feet 7 inches. The average above grade allowed is 16. It has water and sewer. Current parking area complies with section 7.9 of the zoning ordinance, 200 square foot per bedroom, as the property currently is approximately 943 square feet of on-site parking in the existing 3-bedroom dwelling and the proposed 1-bedroom accessory dwelling unit. All right. Future land use designation of property is residential high to moderate. Relief, section 6.4, dimensional relief, 8.9 feet of left side yard setback. Okay. Are you the applicant, legal?
I'm
Charles Sonder, representing the applicant 140 Rodman Street LLC.
And in what capacity are you representing them? Legal, contractor?
I work for DeStefano Brothers Construction, but I'm a licensed architect, so I'm
Okay.
doing the plans for them as well.
Okay, thank you. All right, was I accurate in the proposal as said? I tried to give a Reader's Digest version.
Yeah, it was very accurate.
Okay. Folks, can you do me a favor and just right now, open up your bags, your wallets, your pockets, and turn off your phones, please? Thank you. Appreciate it. Same thing for you guys. Okay, you want to
Sure.
fill in the blanks for us?
Yeah, so the clients currently use the primary residence as a summer home, and the ADU, which exists currently, is it's about 13 by 30 feet, and it has a little kind of a dog leg that pretty much touches the property line. So there's almost zero existing setback from the existing ADU. Upon measuring
Whoa,
the-
go back.
Yeah.
So you're saying an existing ADU? I didn't see
So
that.
there's an existing ADU. That's what's shown dashed. So the shaded region, and then the dark outline is proposed.
So we have a primary house,
Yep.
we had a guest cottage,
This is
and an ADU, and you're tearing down the guest cottage to put a new ADU in.
The guest cottages, he's referring to it as.
yeah. The guest cottage is the existing ADU.
Okay, so if we can keep those straight, because it sounds like you're like putting a subdivision in here, okay?
No,
Thank you.
So we originally wanted to renovate the existing. I'll keep calling it an ADU because I think that's what it's being how it's being treated right now. But it's in pretty rough shape. It's a slab on grade. It would be, it's got problems like mold and rot, and we determined that it wouldn't be, if we were to renovate it, it wouldn't be energy efficient, or it would be really tough to make it energy efficient, and the clients would like to use it as a place to stay during the winter months when they come check on their house. So they keep their house winterized, and they would like to use this as a small apartment. They currently use it as a small apartment, so they don't have to de-winterize their main residence when they do come stay here during the winter months. They live in Connecticut, so we propose to rebuild as close to in kind as we can, keeping it look exactly the same as much as we can from the street, and we want to remove the dog leg so there is a little bit of room to get around in between the house and the property line, and extend it a few feet more in the back. So essentially it's very close to the same size and use that it currently has. The location makes a lot of sense because it's already there. There's already something there, so if we were to put something somewhere else, it would increase the coverage. And they're not interested in having another structure. They'd just like to, ideally they'd like to have this structure be in good shape, but it's kind of beyond that at this point. Yeah, the intent is that it looks the same, keeps the character of the existing ADU or guest house, whatever we're calling it. Yeah, that's about it.
Just some clarification that wasn't in the report. So this is positioned, lined up right with that driveway. Was this at one time a garage or a shed that was converted into an ADU?
Yeah, it looks like that, yeah.
Okay, do we have permits for all of that?
I think it was done a long time ago.
It predates zoning, I believe. I don't have the text
Okay,
card on
just
here.
curious. Okay, all right.
Part of it is slab on grade, and part of it is built with a you know, a slight step up, and it's, you know, made out of 2x4, so it's, you know, pretty tough to insulate and make energy efficient, and it's in rough shape otherwise. Probably some animals living underneath it, so we're trying to make it a little bit cleaner construction.
How close to the existing footprint are you staying? Are you going to exceed the existing footprint?
We're gonna stay within the existing footprint, and actually come a little bit further away from the property line. So like I said, there's a slight dog leg back here where there's a bathroom. We're kind of gonna shift it to the back, and so the new construction will be further away from the property line and allow a little bit, you know, slight access to that side of the house.
And the main house during the summer, during the winter, is rented to students?
No, it's winterized.
It's winterized, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, just trying to get as many facts on the table as I can. Okay.
Yeah, they don't plan on renting anything here. This is for their sole use to come during, you know, fall and winter months, so they don't have to stay, you know, heat the whole house. They just want to heat this small guest, we call it guest cottage.
So do they understand that the town council passed that AEDUs cannot be rented short-term by statute?
Yeah, they have no plans to rent. They have no
Okay.
plans to rent.
But even if they don't
Yeah.
now, somebody down the road, I just want them to be aware of all the facts.
Yeah, I can relay that message to
Okay.
them.
Correct. Doc?
Yes. See this area right here? Right here?
Yes.
Okay, it's too narrow.
That's going away.
The fire? No, what he's proposing to build is 3.2 feet from the property line, right? A man or woman with a pack on their back trying to fight the fire can't get through there. This was put in, I've been on this board a long time. This was put in probably before my time. So we didn't have all of these thoughts and considerations, but you, the bite at the apple is now. It's just too close to the property line. This structure has to be further over here or further back to be allowable. It's too close to the property, it's not safe. Those are fire rules. I mean, there's no letter in here from the fire marshal. You need at least 5 feet for anybody with a pack on their back to get through there. Luckily, it's a one-story structure. If it was 2 stories, you'd need 9 feet to get through. You follow?
Yeah.
You're the architect. Why can't you move the structure either this way or further back?
Well, there's an existing house. We'd have to move it significantly further back. There's an existing house here, so I can't really go closer there. I think they're just trying to maintain, you know, what's there, and you know they've owned it for a long time, and I don't think they want it to change. So
Well, I know they don't want it to change.
yeah.
This is called planning board. We're planning for the worst. The fire
Yeah.
people have to get through here.
I think that what's proposed is better than what's existing.
Yeah, but it's not good enough. You follow?
I do.
Okay. That's my vote. So you can tell where I'm coming from.
Rupert?
Yeah, so the questions I had when we started was what the difference was between calling it a cottage and an ADU, because to me it seemed like the same, so it's just semantics.
Yeah, I don't think there's a difference. I think ADU is just the use of the cottage, so it's a dwelling unit. A cottage could mean it could have other uses, I would guess.
Yeah. And I guess from what I see, it's pretty much the same footprint. I understand Doc's concern is that it's actually making it more compliant than what it is now. So I'm not as concerned. I see your point.
Did it? Steve?
Sure, I'll jump in. So, the guest cottage ADU thing, you know, it's a little bit semantics, but right now you've got a pre-existing non-conforming use as a cottage, which is not an accessory technically. You could put different people in there. So by becoming an ADU, you're actually becoming more compliant. And by getting rid of that dog leg that has no clearance, you're becoming more compliant. But with Doc, I'm also very concerned about fire safety, so I took a look at the floor plans. Could you pop the floor plans up for us, Amanda?
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to let you know they did think about it, Doc, because I thought about it, and I checked, what, back one? Right there. So the left-hand side, oh wait, that's not it. Nope, sorry, keep going, my bad. Right there, here we go. And this thing, oh, there we go. So this is the bedroom, this is the front of the building. This is the left-hand side with the small setback. There's actually no window on this side of the building to egress or ingress these two areas. So the odds of them running a fire ladder this way, I don't see it happening, because they're gonna come in here, or here, or here, or here. So I wasn't as concerned about that. Just, I wanted to let you know there's not a window there. If there was a window there, I'd be telling you to get rid of that window, so that nobody would think about going back that way, because you're right, there's not enough room to run by that, on that side. But if you move it in, then there's not gonna be enough room to run between the two buildings. So I don't have a problem with it. I see you becoming more conforming through this, and I like to see things become more conforming. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Staff? Okay. Are there any neighbors or anybody that would like to speak to this? I usually let people speak. Okay. Redirect, Doc?
Yeah, I follow what you're saying, Steve, and I know you're making some effort, but you can put that, you've got a big lot here, you can put that building anywhere. And the idea that it's been there for 100 years, that doesn't cut anything. You're putting a new structure in on something, as you said, you're not sure what's under here. And you start taking it apart, you'll find all kinds of interesting things. So it doesn't have to be there. There's no reason to be so proximal to your neighbor. You know, there are all kinds of rules in this town for a reason in terms of setbacks. Not just the aesthetics, and maybe not just the fire safety things. So the idea of setting something 3 feet off somebody's neighbor's property line, when we have an opportunity to have this conversation and move this to a more, I think, a more proper location, I think we ought to, as a planning board, that's the direction we should move.
Yeah, I think it's a valid concern. I think there are some other reasons why the location makes sense aesthetically, and also as far as the logistics of the site. You know, it's pretty close to the sewer and the utilities, and also the existing house, electricity, and also there's some drainage in the the center of the yard, or the main yard area. There's a yard drain and some trees right there, so we're trying to avoid impacting that yard drain and also the existing landscape. So those were all, we considered those things for sure. But this seemed to make sense as far as retaining the existing character of the site and trying to preserve it in the best way we thought.
Preserves the character of the site, but not the neighborhood, in terms of what is proper zoning, setbacks, and everything else in that neighborhood, because it's been there for so long. That's the only reason. It is where it is.
Yeah, I think that's
We
part
had
of,
no regulation back then.
I think that's part of the character. The neighbor to the east also has a similar situation. A garage in a similar location, and I just think it's.
And they're not here tonight. We're talking to you.
Yeah, I think
with this situation.
Yeah, it's my my job to respond to the character of the neighborhood and try to maintain that, I think.
Okay. Rupert? Steve?
Thank you for pointing out the drainage. I actually missed that, the yard drain in the back, because as Doc was talking, I agree it'd be nice to get it further away from the property lines. I hadn't realized there was a drain there, so I could see how you might have, there's probably somewhere to put it, but I like where Doc's coming from, but I'm satisfied that you're becoming more, conforming. If they want to move it to the middle, you'll get Doc's vote. So, that's it for me.
Well, no, I mean, I'm passionate about safety. You don't know me, I don't know you. But my whole life devoted to safety and saving people's lives. And the idea that we have an opportunity here to create things in a more, the way the neighborhood in a dream fashion would be, the structures would be located, we have an opportunity to, to have this conversation. Obviously, you're making some effort, but that's a big lot, a lot of opportunity to move that structure wherever. So,
Steve, any more to add?
No, that was it. No.
All right. So from my perspective on this is, when I first looked at it, okay, existing footprint. I like the fact that you're bringing a non-conforming use into a legal use. But the more I looked at that back part, you're talking 3 feet. My petite body would not get through there. And I'm looking, again, same idea as Doc and everybody else. We're very concerned of fire. Those houses in that area are tight. You get a fire in one house, it's like a fire in every house. I just looked at it, when I looked at the kickback on the houses, on the main dwelling, if you can put that back up, the dog leg on the back of the house, it's less than 7 or 8 feet to slide that back, and still keep it, and then come out even 2 feet. Would make a huge difference as far as that. It'd take from 3 to 5 feet, which is like the minimum fire safety, but it's not a huge drop back. It's less than 8 feet to slide the whole thing back. And you're going to knock it down anyway. You're going to dig up the foundation or whatever kind, we're going to say foundation in quotes. I don't think it's a hardship to move it back 8 feet and then move it forward a couple feet.
I think you'd have to move back more than 8 feet to clear this part. You'd have to, leave space back that way if you're going to be moving the house this way as well.
Okay, so
And
let's say 10 feet.
Well, you'd probably have to move it back more like 15 feet, and if we're proposing to move it in at that point, you may probably lose both of those trees in the excavation process. I mean, it would get pretty close. Well, this one.
I've seen excavation on tighter lots
that's
with bigger trees.
I think the root system of those trees goes to about where the canopy is usually. So we're just trying to keep things, as close to what they were, and I think we are making it more safe. I think there's an existing fence there, so I'm not sure that anybody's walking back there. I mean, anyway, I think it's a 1-story, so you could get a hose in there from either side, and also the entrances on the yard side. So I think it's a little bit trickier than maybe it appears.
that's why they hired you.
Yeah, and I think this is coming from the owner, and in this case, I'm in agreement with him.
Can I see the floor plan back up again, please? I mean, I'd be much more comfortable. I mean, it's still the existing footprint. You're replacing with replacing. I can swallow hard and go along with that, but I think the best practice in this case would be to slide that back and move it away 3 feet to give yourself 5 feet of clearance at the back. I think that's the best practice in this thing, but that's my position. Steph, anything? Doc, redirect?
No, you've heard me speak.
Okay. Rupert? Steve? Okay. So, need a motion.
Motion for completeness?
Yep, and then I'm going to need a motion on the request, a recommendation to zoning in reference to the dimensional regulation setback.
So the application before us is complete and conforms to the town comprehensive plan.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Do I have a motion on the recommendation to zoning in reference to the section 6.4 as a left side setback proposed of 3.1 feet versus 12 feet?
I would move for a positive recommendation to the zoning board.
Okay. Any
On that and the, I believe there was also 6.4 dimensional regulation over the, was it coverage? They're increasing the coverage slightly?
I just got dimensional resolution.
Sorry.
I just got the
Oh,
8.9
sorry.
feet. No?
Sorry about that, I thought there was two things.
No.
Sorry.
No, that's big enough. Conditions, you still want to keep all those conditions in place?
They're fine by me if they're fine with the applicant.
You've read those, you
Yes.
agree with those? Okay, all right. Do I have a second on the motion?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those
Negative.
opposed?
Negative.
Okay, 3-1. Okay, you go to zoning,
All right, thank you.
okay? I would seriously look at that setback. If you can do that, I think you get a home run there.
Okay,
All right, and take a lot of heat off of you going to zoning.
all right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. All right, project summary. Skybound Development LLC, tax assessor plat 0, lot 7-2, or it's plat O, 6 Lambert Street. Hey boss, how you been?
Not as good as you, Mr. Chairman.
Uh,
I'm trying.
Living life. If I can get one foot in front of the other, it's a good day. All right, the applicant is submitting a request to renovate the existing office space and construct a second-story addition above the structure to accommodate a dwelling unit and an attached addition to the north side of the existing structure at the above referenced property. This project requires a special use permit from non-conforming use and structures continuing with section 9.1. An alternative to non-conforming structures in use, section 10.1, and a variance from dimensional regulations 6.4b. Lot 72 is approximately 15,000 square foot in size, located in R10 zone district, and is currently occupied by a one-story office building. The existing building lot coverage is approximately 1,391 square feet, or 9.2%. Proposed construction of a 40 by 24 second-story addition above the existing structure with a landing and stairs, and a 52 by 49 foot addition to the north side of the existing structure with an 8 by 4 foot attached landing deck and stairs. Proposed building coverage and lot coverage will be approximately 3,095 square feet, or 20.6%. So the project does not comply with dimensional regulations of section 6.4, as a proposed hardscape percentage exceeds maximum value required. 44.5% proposed versus a 22% max, so we're doubling that. Requires a special use permit for non-conforming use, which takes us into fun zone. I hate these. Buildings or structures 9.1, as this existing non-conforming structure will be enlarged. The project will require a special use permit under section 10.1, alterations to a non-conforming structure in use. It is presence, an enlargement, extension, structural alteration, or reconstruction of existing building or structure which consists of a non-conforming use. Elevation plans indicate proposed building height of 29.3 feet from the average grade. 30 is allowed. It is served by sewer and water. Okay. September 2nd, 2025 from Engineering Department was included with this application approving this project as it relates to supplemental drainage. The proposed parking areas comply with section 7.9 of the zoning ordinance for 200 square foot per bedroom, as the project proposes 3,450 square foot of on-site parking for a one-bedroom dwelling. The future land use destination of this property is residential high to moderate, and the project proposed is a conflict with the land use component of the current comprehensive plan is general commercial office are not allowed in an R10 zoning district. Relief, section 6.4B, dimensional regulations, 22% or 3,300 square foot hardship variance. Section 9.1, non-conforming use in structures, continuous special use permit. Section 10.2, alterations to non-conforming structures and use, special use permits. Okay. Understand for the public, when we start getting into special use permits, it's a question of is it the same, is it changing, to what degree, and that causes all sorts of legal technicalities and engineering technicalities, as we both know. It is very different from your standard thing. My only question out of the gate is, staff's report was that it complies with parking for the bedrooms, but does not answer parking for the extension of the commercial use. So
that wasn't considered. My apologies. I'll have to speak with the building official about that.
yeah, that would be a huge thing for me, because that would also add to the hardscape issues and the lot coverage issues. So, okay, sorry.
No, you did a good segue, actually, and
Right.
it helps me, so I appreciate the question.
You know, so one of the things too is that this lot is at the end of the street, but it's a neighborhood. And for this to become a full commercial, industrial usage, sets the first domino falling of changing the entire neighborhood. So that also, and I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing.
That's
I'm
not
just-
what we want to do, Mr. Chairman.
I'm just saying that that is a reality. It is located at the main intersection and all of that. But I just wanted to put that on the table.
Very much so, and we are, and that's where I have staff who are wonderful, and I love working with, and I have a disagreement about what we're doing, what the way to categorize this, and then what we're doing on the lot.
Okay.
What we're suggesting is that we are ground floor. What exists there today is going to stay. It's a professional office. It's going to remain a professional office. Don't intend to change that use. It's not going to become anything different than it's a dentist's office, professional, whether it continues to be a doctor, an engineer, a contractor, something. It will remain a professional office and continue to be so under our proposal. We are out looking to add a residential unit on top of the exact same building, which means infill, all the things that we talk about with residential units, and becoming more compliant because it isn't allowed use on the site.
Is that going to be a year-round unit, or is that going to be a short-term unit?
We haven't gotten that far yet, but if that's something the board wants to consider, whether it be rented on a monthly basis, the no short-term rentals, I don't know if I would go to say yearly, but we could consider and talk about no weekly rentals or no short-term
We've been
rentals.
very vehement and very passionate about trying to get attainable workforce housing.
Yep.
You know, not even looking at affordable legal with a capital A.
Right.
And the secondary market, which is the long-term, the year-round market, has a more reasonable scale than the short-term. We've always stated, and you heard it tonight, we're always much more comfortable if somebody is willing to do that and provide workforce housing rather than student housing, short-term rental type thing.
And I would
Just
suggest
throwing
to
that
you-
out to you. Again, we have no enforcement authority to do that, which is directly on your own, but
I call it affordable by design, which is not a term I created, but we utilize it. I would suggest to you that it, as a one-bedroom, where you could try to shoehorn 2 or 3 into the space, it is just that. It's workforce housing. It's near and accessible to the shopping center, the large shopping center, to one of our kind of little industrial or commercial areas that we utilize. And there was a proposal at one point in time to rezone this as commercial, because it is historically been a commercial site and utilized for commercial purposes. But it still remains residential, and as you said, at the end of an extensive neighborhood, one of sort of the entryway neighborhoods to Narragansett, right at the end of South Pier Road. I call it the mobile station, which we know it's not. It's a stop and shop, but I'm just.
Rhode Islanders do that. We could go back 13 other uses before.
So what we are looking to do is add, I would call it an affordable by design, 1-bedroom unit on the top. And adding allowed uses of storage and garage. I understand staff's position and why they want to categorize it as a commercial activity and commercial use and expansion. It's not. They're allowed uses on the site. We can play games with segregating buildings and detaching and asking for different types of variances. I just wanted to come before the board with a degree of transparency. The garages. My client operates large vehicles. Rather than parking vehicles outside, we'd rather than be in garages. It's a neighborhood. We want to do that and work with people on that. I sent my client out to go try to talk to the neighbors about buffering and trees. We are aware and taking into account the fact that it is at the edge of the neighborhood. And people live there and probably have lived there for an extensive period.
Those trees that were taken down on this lot, were those recently taken down, or were they taken down a while ago?
Not under my client's watch, I
Okay.
don't believe so, no.
Okay, just curious.
And, he intends to utilize it and kind of to bring it back up. It's been underutilized in recent years, since the gentleman, and I forget his name, I'm sure you know Dr. O'Neill, was a dentist, was there for quite some time
Down.
on the corner. And it has,
The position?
was he a physician or a dentist? I don't recall.
Dr.
He was a
Bouchard?
dentist.
Yes.
Sure, you're not from
Dr.
here.
Bouchard.
He took care, no, he took care of it.
I only moved here when I was 8.
Larry Bouchard, wonderful.
So,
Let me just say something on that. You don't have to be from Narragansett to be for Narragansett. It just really irksome to me. I've
I
been,
was the last grade to do 5 years at the Pierce School. We did 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th then. That's my claim to fame. So that, we have that's what we're adding. We're adding an allowed use attached to it, a garage, and then storage space above it. We can twist it, pull it, call it every different thing, and I haven't had a chance to sit down. As you know, the zoning official and building doubles as our building official has been out, sit down with him and legal and have a collegial discussion to see how we can fit the boxes in.
I think, you know, and we've always had good conversations. I think the concern would be that, okay, and we have to do this. We have no choice, and you've seen the ugly side of these, is, you know, this is just going to be parking for my trucks and stuff, and it is kept that way. And then the next person comes in and starts doing assembly and manufacturing in there, or expands the uses, and so that's the sensitive area.
Understood.
Of this whole thing. And then, of course, with large trucks and stuff would be the question of idling, you know, when they're going to come in and out. It is a residential neighborhood, all of that kind of stuff. But I think the fact that this is, you know, you're doubling the size of this non-conforming use, and then, okay, let's just stay with the black and white of it. You know, it becomes a kind of an exposed nerve of, okay, this is the intent of the existing proponent, but what doors does it open for the next person down the road? And you can't predict that, we can't predict that, but we have to plan for that. We have to take that into consideration.
I think we can plan for it by limiting it to and maintaining it as a professional office, which has very strict standards. It's not an industrial use. No, you know, there are parking regulations about types and the amount of parking that are allowed in a professional office. You can have, it doesn't give them the right to park large vehicles. I believe there's a limit on the size of a vehicle that can be parked in a residential area in Narragansett. So there are very real limitations that will exist, still exist, and will continue to exist. And by putting garages and housing those vehicles, and we're not talking 18-wheelers, we're talking pickup trucks. And we're talking 2 or 3 garage bays. We're not talking a big industrial garage. And those garage doors, as proposed, are to face inside of the structure. They won't be viewed from the neighborhood. People won't have to go into around and be expose lights to the neighbor's front of their house and their living area. The idea is to maintain it, and we have a nice facade along that side, some architecturals to break up the wall, open to the idea of buffering, and as we move forward, I know we're going to be able to address the hardscape issue and get under the existing coverage because there's a huge amount of pavement out there. And I don't think we need all that pavement. We can work on reducing that and getting that down. So I certainly would encourage you to make that a point in whatever decision you make this evening. I just have a fundamental disagreement, alternative view, or different view state than your staff. What we are proposing are all allowed uses on the site. You want to isolate and maintain the simple use of a professional office.
Could I have the architectural rendering up on the board, please?
Keep going, yeah. One more. That one at the top.
Next one,
One more.
the elevation, front elevation.
There you go.
Okay, so the left-hand side with the 3 windows is the 1-bedroom up top, I believe. Is that sort of the existing building?
Speaking to over here?
Yeah, I'm looking at that part, the front door, and
Yes.
it's approximate, I'm not looking for exact. Okay, so then the rest of it's the addition.
Yeah.
The garage doors are going to be from the side? Would be from, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm being like charades here. So they're coming in from here? No,
They would come in around here.
Around the back?
Existing driveway is, and come in and access, it's like
Okay.
it's becomes an L in effect.
Okay, and these are windows?
They're more architectural features so that it resembles the residential use of that it's.
Is this a door?
It is.
So this is a door.
Just to make it look like a residential home.
Okay, now what's it here?
Storage space. One big open room.
How tall is that?
I believe it's, the total height is, I believe.
Of the second floor?
So ceiling height is 6'10".
Okay, thank you. All right. Doc, questions, concerns?
Oh, yeah.
I don't usually start out with questions. I just thought these were fundamental questions that had to be answered before we could even move
I
on.
appreciate it, Mr. Chairman.
I usually
We gotta,
stay out of things.
we gotta start the conversation somewhere.
Yep. Doc?
So the reason that the doctor was in that end of the building, the neighbors embraced him because he served the community and there was never a commercial hearing or used in any commercial way. This is a residential street. And, I'm sure you mean well in terms of what you would do, where you would put those automobiles, but again, I've said many times that sitting up here, this is the first owner of this new business, new structure. And the next owner doesn't remember all of these promises and all of these, the idealistic conversation that we're having here today. So, to embrace this in terms of what you're proposing here, immediately adjacent to residential neighborhood, I found it very difficult to support. You're trying, I mean, you know, you're aesthetically trying, but not to use comparisons, but there's an automobile dealership in town that tried to begin with. If you look at what's there now, it's a lot of growth, a lot of overgrowth, I think. But in any case, the idea of having a commercial adventure like this immediately, even though, you know, I know you have the apartment on that end. Essentially, it's a commercial adventure right up adjacent, immediately adjacent to a residential area. It's very difficult for me to support that. That's where I'm coming from.
Rupert?
So, question for staff on this. So, How does this show up in the comp plan? Does it show up as residential or commercial?
Yes, the future land use is residential R10 high to moderate density.
And the zoning the same?
Yes.
Okay. And then, I'm confused, so I'm hearing that this is gonna be first floor professional. But I think we're only referring to this part as first floor professional, we're not referring to this part as first floor professional, right?
Because it's not gonna, that's a garage.
But it's not a garage for the first floor professional office.
It's a garage for the site.
Yeah,
It's an allowed use in a residential zone for storage and parking of vehicles inside.
So I want legal opinion on this. So this is zone residential. This is not zone commercial. Okay? So let's get that.
We agree.
We agree. Okay. We usually do agree on things, by the way.
Right till the end.
Until we disagree. So this is an expansion of a non-conforming use. This is not a use that is typically allowed in this area, and it's significant. So
I'm not expanding the use though, and that's the fundamental difference.
this is where you get paid what you get paid, and I'm a volunteer, so.
I respect that, you know that.
So the argument here is that this is totally allowed in the residential area because it's just a garage, and it's not a commercial use. It's a garage for commercial vehicles.
I don't know, he hasn't said that yet, but,
These are garage for commercial vehicles. Please, I'm not asking you folks, okay?
It's a garage for the site, Mr. Chairman.
That's not the answer that I expect from you. You usually straight shoot.
Well,
Is it-
again,
is it-
I can't predict that, what it's gonna use.
So is your client a commercial, does he own a commercial business?
Yeah, that's why
And he's gonna use
the office for his own
these
business.
garages for that business?
I can't tell you. It's gonna use the barge to park.
Then
vehicles.
ask your client for me, please. Are you gonna use these for your business? Yes. Thank you very much. Okay, so, it's a residential zone. We have a non-existing little ranch, that's an office, it's gonna be maintained an office. Request upstairs is put a one-bedroom residential. Now we're gonna add a commercial garage to it. Now, the argument here from council is that a garage, by any other name, is permitted in a residential area. Is a commercial garage permitted in a residential area?
Define commercial in that sense. Is it gonna be rented? No.
He's gonna use it for his own business. He's gonna be, council, he's already stated he's using it for his own business.
It's
So,
using it to park vehicles in.
he's gonna park commercial vehicles in there.
Define a commercial vehicle, I guess. That would be my question.
it is
Council.
always the case that this tennis match takes place.
It doesn't. Usually we don't bounce balls
Well,
together, but,
the facts drive it.
yes. So that's what I'm asking you for, a view.
If he were to say, I'm going to be allowing people to park their valuable sports cars, I'm just making this up, valuable sports cars there for the winter, so that they won't be exposed to the winter weather while I go to Florida, then that would be a commercial use. And I'm not sure it's consistent with what the pre-existing commercial use that was there for. It was a dentist's office. And so I think what, Doctor, you just referred to this. Things evolve over time and people forget. And that's what your concern is. So we got to flesh that out.
Yeah.
As to what it is that garage is going to be. Is it going to be another business there that has cars or trucks that are associated with it? That would be one thing. The other would be is if it were being used as a separate entity, separate and apart from the commercial use that I assume the dentist isn't going to stay there anymore.
He's gonna.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
gonna maintain a commercial office there.
All right. So then, are the cars consistent? And are people being paying money to park their cars there for whatever reason? And that might be inconsistent with a quote-unquote pre-existing non-conforming commercial use.
So what if the owner of this, the now owner, does all of this, and they're parking their, say they have a tree removal service, or a contractor, or a septic system, tank pumping out, whatever, and they're parking those vehicles in here, is that considered commercial use?
It is, but is it pre-existing to the grandfathered use?
So the grandfathered use was a dentist.
So I don't think a dentist has a tree removal service.
No.
Unless they got a big cavity.
Right. Okay, thank you. All right. All right, just looking for kind of a common ground here, okay?
I think the common ground here is that, and you know, as I was sitting here on the last application, we always count the number of people in the room, right? Mr. Chairman, you commented at that at the beginning of the board. I'm gonna request, you don't have to talk to me, you don't have to do anything to me. None of you are, I don't know if any of you are attorneys or not, so you don't have to talk to me at all. I request an opportunity to talk to all of you, get some contact information, and have a discussion outside of this formal setting with the neighbors. That's important to me, I know it's important to my client, so that's something that I want to do. And I know I'm not, you know, I'm supposed to speak through the board. So
That's fine, I got no problem, you've always been straight with people, and I got no problem with that. So, all right, so we, I think we cleared that part up. Thank you, Council, I appreciate it. Doc? So, well,
I'm
sorry.
assuming.
I didn't know if he was finished as of yet, and we just kind of cleared this up, so we're going to pass it back down again.
I'm assuming from the end of that conversation that this is commercial adventure on this end of the structure, added to the previous exception, which allowed the original physician and now a dentist in. And so you could change the word commercial to whatever word you want. It still is a commercial change in this property, which is immediately adjacent to a residential neighborhood, and this existing structure right now is there by allowance when the good doctor wanted to move in there originally. So we can see the advancement of what's happened to this point, and now talking about this a possible addition in a substantial way, obviously commercial to me, immediately abutting the residential neighborhood. So,
Rupert?
Yeah, I'm done with my question.
Steve, sorry, I just figured after that conversation, they needed to give everybody a chance to go back through it.
Of course, no problem, Mark. You can see there's a lot of the public here to talk, so I'm going to try to be quick with my comments. I have some questions for our legal counsel, no offense to you, but
No,
I got to hear it from the horse's mouth here. Let's say we say no, can't do it, too big, whatever reasons we want. Can he rent that office to a tree removal company? It's a commercial office. Can he rent it to a tree removal company?
To use it as an office.
To use it as an office, okay. Can he park his cars on the pavement?
Cars consistent with that business, and so it would be off-street parking in a residential neighborhood.
Okay, that's what I assumed.
Yep.
So I'm going to commend you for designing a building that will block the view of your neighbors from seeing whatever, I don't know what business you do, but if I were to rent that office, I can tell you, I'd have a trailer there at least, and probably some other equipment, and frankly, I'd say, I'm paying for the site, I'm going to park my stuff where I want to park my stuff, as long as it's within the legal bounds. So if it would be within the legal bounds, then I'm glad you're trying to put a garage. I do think the building's pretty, although I've said there's no accounting for taste before, so who knows about mine. I think it'll go a long way talking to your neighbors and putting some trees up or something. Why not more residential instead of the storage?
Because it's not violative of zoning.
Well, why not put a bigger apartment up there instead of a one-bedroom?
Affordable by design, workforce housing. We could put 2-bedroom up there, but it doesn't change the fact that if I disconnect this garage from the structure,
Yeah.
I'm an allowed use.
No, I understand, I just,
So that's what we're caught up in here, is a design feature
yeah,
of whether or not the garage is attached to
yeah.
or separate from the existing structure. And I think you should, I would encourage you to ask your legal counsel, if it's separate, are those allowed uses? So what we're talking about here is an architectural decision to have them be one structure in more conformance with the surrounding neighborhood and the fact that there aren't a lot of detached structures. Versus, I put a little separation in there, and now I'm an allowed structure, I'm an allowed use. I get rid of some pavement, and I have no, my variances have gone way, way down. So what we're talking about here is designing something that makes sense and trying to get everybody on the same page and doing it in a way that has the least impact on the surrounding area, or trying to skirt around regulations and put more in and avoid avoid doing the best project because of skirting around regulations.
I grant you more residential density will increase traffic and everything else, so I commend you on keeping it small. Would your client be willing to maybe, and I know you're affordable by design, but we know that doesn't count towards the town's
There's some
requirements for affordable housing. So if you could, that's why I said, why not more? Because then you could do one side with a nice apartment and the other side you could do an affordable. The town picks up an affordable, that helps everybody. But I see why you're trying to do it the way you're doing it. I appreciate
because
it.
when you now
But that'll buy you some grace too.
What are we gonna do? We can put 3, 4 unit residential units in there, come in with a comp permit. It's overloading the site in my, again, no accounting for taste, right, in my opinion. This is trying to, and quite frankly, it's immediately adjacent to one of our most dense commercial areas. It's immediately adjacent to a gas station that used to be a 24-hour gas station and potentially could go back to being that. It's next to a liquor store. It's immediately adjacent to one of our busiest intersections in town, just down the road from our only stoplight. So I understand some trepidation here, but I go back to that. We're talking about whether the structure, whether the garage and the storage is connected to or disconnected from the existing structure.
Steve, got anything else?
I'm just gonna reiterate, I think you buy some grace with an official, affordable, and, you know, we can't make you,
Yeah.
but that'll buy you some grace, and I think you're right. I think you should pull some more pavement out of there, that'll buy you some grace too.
Yes, which is our intent. most
It is
definitely.
definitely a much bigger building, but I did the numbers earlier, I got them written down somewhere, but your actual increase in building lot coverage is significantly less than it appears because you have so much existing pavement that you're gonna delete and put in, I assume, grass or some landscaping,
permeable.
something nice. So, you're trying, I tip of the cap, you're trying.
That's what we do.
I like residential use, I like density, so that was my only point, but I see what you're doing, I appreciate it, and I wish you luck. I'm all set.
Okay.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Would you, instead of storage, if we put an ADU up there and increase the height, does the board have a preference to something like that?
If you, I mean, there's a question of the board, but I'll answer, if you were to make it an officially, you know, income restricted affordable unit, you'd move me a lot closer, because that's 50% of the units would be affordable, and that helps us, you know, I don't hate that, but I get you want storage. I'll be honest with you, I like the building. I would like to, if it were mine, I'd like it. It looks awesome, it looks great for your usage, but, you know, is that what your neighbors want? Probably not, but I think you did a good job thinking about it up front, and I think you're right. I think trees, I think screening, I think all those things would buy you some grace, and I'm a fan of affordable housing. I like the deed restricted stuff, so that would help me.
Doc?
So,
Yeah.
the guy came in here. Oh, yes, I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
You used the phraseology, this is immediately adjacent to the gas station. Can you back go off on the site?
I guess I should, it's separated by the road.
Well, there's a lot there.
Well,
Yeah, the former
The lot
There's
over
this-
here is very, very narrow.
Oh,
The
we
majority
call-
of this lot is back here.
That goes pretty
Can I
deep.
finish?
I'm sorry,
Is
I'm
that
sorry.
right? I don't mind, but
Sorry.
I can talk to, please. So, yeah, former COLA and the former judge passed away on that piece here. So when you use that phraseology, that it's immediately, it's not. There is this parcel here. And the gas station you're referring to then is across the street, it's over here.
It's more down here.
Stop and Shop on the other side of the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure that.
All right, go ahead. Can I go back to the floor plan, please?
First or second floor?
You can go to the second floor. So question, this is difficult because normally we have conversations with the applicant as well, so that's
I'm
fine.
here, I can talk to you too.
Okay, thank you. So you've got what, 1, 2, 3 bays here, right? So your vehicles will be parked here?
No.
So this is
windows.
this is the front of the building.
Yes.
This is the side, the north side.
Yeah, those are windows.
Those are windows too. So what
So-
where are the trucks coming in? In the back here?
Yes,
Here?
there's 2 bays there.
Yep.
1, 2, and then there's another one. Go to your left a little bit. Go to the left.
So I got 1, 2.
Yes. Now go to the right here.
I'm sorry. Oh, B then. Okay, that one there. Okay. All right. So they're coming here and here, and then one here. So what do you foresee this usage is in here for?
So that's on the second floor is,
Well, no. Let's
So that's the garage
pretend.
level?
Let's say we're on the floor level. This is garage level. Yeah.
Go back one. Thank you.
So, all right. So you have entrance here, so we got trucks here, truck here. What do you foresee this area?
You know, we could just, I just want to put all our equipment inside, off the street,
Okay.
out of the way of the residents. I'm not from Narragansett, I moved here in 2000, but.
Stop,
this is
please.
here.
I hate
I'm
that
with you on the whole
because people
Narragansett
discredit people because you haven't lived here since the forefathers landed, you know? I got painted with that the other day. It's like, I've been here a long time, longer than most. But you don't have to be from Narragansett to be for Narragansett. It's really,
But the same way, it gets me, I understand that it's in a neighborhood with all these folks here, I get it. Want to build a building that's a nice building that Lawrence Builders builds, we can show off our work.
I know who you are.
Also, be careful in the neighborhood, and be able to get our stuff out of the street and just hidden away.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
That-
So that, inside there will be all our equipment.
So here's the question that I know is on people's minds, and they have what, is, so that you got this space, you got that space upstairs. Are you gonna be building, pre-fabbing stuff in here?
We don't have plans to do that, no. We have a shop that's done in ministerial,
Okay.
that does all that. I don't have, our office right now is on Boone Street, across
Yep.
from PJ's Pub.
Yeah, I know it.
We're gonna put the same office here, quiet, just 4 people working in it.
Okay, so where's the office gonna be?
The dentist office.
Oh, you're gonna occupy the dentist's office?
Yeah.
Thank you, because that's not been clarified here.
oh, I apologize. No, it's gonna be his office, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so that's your office, you're on site. So if we can go to the second floor, here's the thing that always makes us kind of bristle. If you go to the second floor, you get a bathroom here. But you're saying this is storage, so I'm like, okay, why do we have a bathroom here? And, it's sort of like, okay, you got the bathroom, it's the second floor storage, then all of a sudden, becomes something more. And that's, I think you understand where I'm coming from, and I'm not trying to be insulting, but this is a red flag for any of us, and it would be for the general public. So is that critical to your design to have? Okay, so would you be willing to?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Also willing to what?
To remove it. Thank you. So I think.
Put it back on the weekend.
I think the big thing too,
No, I'm sarcastic because I've sat here a long time, a lot of
So-
years.
and the ceiling height is, you said 6'5",
6'10".
6'10" at the peak?
No, it's a flat ceiling, 6'10", peak's
Okay.
higher.
All right. So.
for the aesthetics of the outside.
Right, I got you. Okay. I think meeting with the neighbors would be a very good idea. And I think buffers are going to be critical for you in acceptance from the neighbors. So I would look at that too. So I'm not giving my opinion on things, I'm just kind of looking at elements that could help. So, all right. Is there anything you want to add to this? You don't have to.
I guess, I mean, I pretty much said a lot just now, is that we wanted to bring, our business has been in town for 25 years. We employ a lot of people in town, families. And we want to be able to build structure that shows our work, that's right there at the heart of the entry of Narragansett. It is in the neighborhood, that's why we designed it to be a home. Designed it to put all our stuff around back and inside. And just, you know, keep helping this community out. Kids went to school here, we love Narragansett.
I think part of the issue was, I know when I went out, we all go out and look at the properties, every property. When I went out, people, because they had no idea what was going on. And I think a lack of communication is always the worst thing that can happen. And so I think that's an issue sitting here. So, Doc, anything from you? No. Rupert? Steve? Nope. Staff, you want to add anything to this?
Not at this time.
Council?
Nope.
Okay, this is not a public hearing, okay? But we've always been very transparent on things, and so I know there's some people that would like to speak. I'll give you a couple minutes to speak, only because we have other things on the agenda, and we don't usually have accommodations for public speak.
What I would suggest, Mr. Chair, after speaking to my client and realizing how many people are here, is in the interest of your board, please do whatever you want. A request to come back before this board.
I was going to recommend that anyway, because knowing you, and I don't know you personally, but just professionally, I figured that might be where it comes. But let's go, I'm going to give them a chance no matter what, and then let's talk about what the next step is, okay? And that give you an opportunity to kind of brainstorm and think, okay? Do you want to say anything now? You're going to get a chance at the end to come back.
No,
you know how we
especially
work.
since we're coming back,
Yeah.
my goal is to be able to meet with you folks and to have a conversation and then come back having incorporated that conversation into our discussion and into our presentation.
Okay.
So please, Mr. Chairman, on your board, please speak your piece, but that's why I'm making that request.
Okay. And I always ask people, just be cognitive of I know it can be emotional, everything can be emotional. If you can kind of keep to the facts, and then if somebody's already said something you've said, if you could just add something new, that way it gives other people behind you more time to be able to speak, and we're not having somebody say the same thing over and over again. Okay, that said, we usually allow for comment, and again, this is not a hearing, so this is not public comment, this is just a conversation, but we usually give like 3 minutes, okay? Young lady. If you could state your name and where you live, just so we know.
My name is Daryl Anderson. I live on Jean Street, which is right off Lambert. And my question would be, what is the plans for the town to upgrade where the traffic signal is? Because right now, Lambert Street and then South Pier Road and the traffic signal, it's not supporting the amount of traffic that it has now and the way it's used. It's a through street, people are going through there all the time, trucks that don't belong there, kids racing that don't belong there, kids walking that don't, trying to walk to school. It's a difficult area.
I appreciate exactly what you're saying. I do business over there, so I appreciate it. That's not in our bailiwick. And I'm not trying to deflect it or take response, but it really is beyond us, traffic lights and traffic patterns and stuff.
There isn't anything in the works for upgrading that whole area?
I'll be honest, I have no idea. Staff?
I'm sorry, the intersection with Woodruff 108?
Yeah.
That's a state road?
Yeah.
So it's not.
So that's top secret until they decide to let somebody know.
You plow it.
We feel for you. It's just really, state roads are totally out of our jurisdiction, and honest, this whole thing is, you know, the roadways, and that's a separate issue.
Well, Lambert Street is in a state road.
No, but 108 is, and that whole intersection, so there, yeah. But that would be something to take up with the town council.
Okay.
Okay?
Just wanted to know if there was anything.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I pull out and I kind of like, please God, so.
I
so-
don't even drive anymore.
That would be something, touche. So that would be something to discuss, to take up with the town council.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? Thank you. Anybody else have something to speak about, folks? Ladies? Somebody? Anybody? And understand, they want to meet with you and they want to talk and they want to explain things to you, so, yeah.
My name's Mary Kay Petrie. I'm talking on behalf of my father. He's 95 years old. He's probably in bed at the moment. He has lived on that street since 1957. Okay, it's a residential street. He's concerned because the neighbors park all over the place, the college students. And with the increased, if there's apartments up there, it's going to be a problem. He's got people parking so that we can't back up the vehicles. You know, they're parking on the wrong side of the street. We're concerned about the traffic. If a new business comes in there, the big trucks or anything like that. It's a concern, especially since nobody was really notified. All we saw is the electric thing going up there. We didn't really know what was going on. It was like, okay, it's a small little home going in. We didn't know anything that was going on. Okay, thank you.
So based on the plans that I've seen, all parking, including the apartment parking, will be up. Will be.
Turn on the phone.
It's the 3-minute bell. So, based on the plans submitted and the testimony here, the apartment will have parking on site, and then and your businesses will all be inside.
Yeah, all parking is in the back.
Okay. So,
That
when,
left side
so when an
driveway,
employee
everything's in
comes
the
to
back.
get a truck, a pickup truck or whatever, will their vehicle go inside?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
All right, well, yeah, he wasn't a happy camper. Thanks.
All right, somebody else? Anybody else? Yes, young lady.
My name is Barbara Jennings. I live directly across the street from this. I have to say, when I came here tonight, I'm thinking apartments, more college kids, more short-term rentals, and it was really, really concerning. From what you're describing, I don't have as much concern as I would have if it was short-term rentals, but the word fabricating came out, and I look at all that open space, and I'm thinking, I'm picturing welders, and I have no idea what you do, sir. I have no idea what your company is. Parking, an office, that's one thing. If it becomes more than that, I have a real concern. That's about all I have to say.
Okay.
I understand, thank you.
Somebody else? Anybody else? And by the way, that road is treacherous to go down when people are parking on the side streets. So,
Yeah.
so the fact that all of his is, if you look at the plans, they were obviously aware of that, and all their parking is off-site, on-site rather. So, and it's actually behind. So. Someone else want to add? No?
Not right now.
Nobody? Okay. Council, you want to say anything else, or does your client want to say anything?
Yeah.
Please. Can you put the architectural rendering back up, please?
So Steve, my attorney, I feel the same way. I would love to meet with all of you and talk about what I propose to do, how it affects you guys, which I hope it doesn't, and explain to you what our business does and what we're going to do. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be good for everybody if we could spend some time talking about it. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Staff?
I have no further comment.
Okay. Doc?
Yeah, it's me and my background. The young lady who pointed out how treacherous it is to get in and out of Lambert Street. It is. I go by there all the time. In the summer, the traffic's backed up in every direction. And people are trying to come off of 108 going north, do that little hook around right next to the gas station and then put their blinker on. Now the traffic goes all the way back out onto 108. People coming this way can't move.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, that all that stuff happens in New York City, but not here. Well, it does. It does. So, my opinion, nothing to do with this project, I don't think. My opinion, Lambert Street should be a one-way street. Or blocked at the end. Treacherous turn. I think that's just my public.
Somehow or another, people forgot that you don't park in front of a entrance to a road. You
Yeah.
stop before it, but that's a whole nother bailiwick that, again, we don't have any control over. Rupert?
Yeah, I guess just to summarize my perspective, I think the scale of this building relative to the character of the neighborhood and the concern creeping from what it's being shown and designed to be now and changing to very different use with multiple student rental. I could see that happening. I mean, in this year, we've had, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 applications where folks came in to legalize bedrooms that were built illegally in town. So
It's become a cottage industry for us, it really has. And I think that's why the concern, like Steve and I were saying, if you could do some, or willing to do some sort of deed restriction, especially that storage spot, that it doesn't get converted to apartments. That doesn't stop somebody down the road from doing it, I know, but it gives us at least a leg, because it's become a, and I'm not asking you to, I'm just throwing it out there. We don't have any jurisdiction to do that, but understand, no joking, we've had probably 5 of them now, at least, coming in and saying, oh, I found 3 more bedrooms.
we have one on the agenda tonight, 3 bedrooms
Well, it actually,
in one house.
It's actually a duplex, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
Steve?
Now that I know Lawrence Builders, I didn't know before. Makes a lot of sense. I can see why you need that storage. I'll be honest with you, most of my basement is right now housing kitchen cabinets that never got installed. They were the wrong size, they were the wrong or whatever, and they're sitting there waiting to hopefully one day go into somebody else's house. So I wouldn't mind some storage. So I can see why you're trying to put a big storage above the garages. So thank you, that does help me. You know, I'm less worried about fabricating. I get you're gonna have stuff to store. But yeah, I think everybody's concerned about student housing. We don't wanna see that, obviously. So anything you can do to assuage people's fears that there's gonna be a bunch of college kids running amok. I actually, the first person who spoke, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I actually lived on your street for a year, way back in the day when I was a child, going around here. So I am familiar with the road. It's a tough road. I get a good idea with that one way. Maybe we'll bring it up to the town council. But yes, that's all I've got now, and I wish you luck, and I hope that you guys all can, you know, come to some kind of amicable agreements on the lot there. And I wish you luck.
Okay. I also knew who the applicant was. We're not social, but I know you and your work, and so, but I figured until council introduced you, I wasn't going to say anything. So, I think again, from what I see the reaction here, a lot of this is a lack of communication, and I think that would go a long way to have some coffee with the folks, that's what you want to do. Do you want to put a request in, formal request?
I'll put that request in, and I know Mr. Lawrence was actively trying to seek out people in the neighborhood when he was over there.
Yep.
As you know, there's no notice requirement for this meeting, so please don't take this as an intent to deceive or not notify you guys. These are informal meetings that we don't notify. We notify for the zoning board, which is the next meeting, which will be theoretically in 2 months, because we're going to come back after we speak to you guys and speak to the board. So it wasn't an intent, and I know Mr. Lawrence had an intent to, certainly the people immediately abutting, to go out and speak to them as you could without
Yep.
banging on too many doors, because we don't knock on doors anymore in today's world. So I would formally put the request in to have an opportunity to speak with the abutters and come back, taking into account that. And,
So you're
before the
saying you
board
would like a
next month.
continuance of this?
Yes.
Do you have a date certain, or would you like to leave it open?
I'd like a date certain for the next meeting.
Next meeting, okay. November 18th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, good luck, folks, all right? If you guys can do me a favor and arrange a meeting outside the hall, right here. Thank you much, I appreciate it, thank you. Thanks for stepping in, bud. All right. Yeah, hey, guys.
The room next door is.
Hey, guys, hello, before you guys go, the room next door is probably open.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Where we at?
What do you got for me?
All right, so, hello.
Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So I need approval of minutes. I got August 19th and September 16th. Rupert, what do you got?
I'm sorry, that's me.
What the who, wait?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, Rupert, because the concern about the wording for Nero, B2, on page 2.
Page 2?
Yep.
Whereabouts?
So I wasn't here for that meeting, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was actually Tom, had the
Okay.
concern about that.
Did he tell you what the concern was?
With the wording of how it was the
Did he-
rental,
Did he give you adjusted verbiage?
essentially what I wrote, and I was going.
All right, so why don't we do this out of respect to Tom? Why don't we hold this one to the next meeting? He'll be here for the next meeting,
Sure.
okay? Can I have a motion on that?
Yep. Move to
Seconded.
Continue this one.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. September 16th,
September 16th.
Rupert, what do you got?
So I have a clarification on B3, on page 2, B3, the second block of text there, where it reads, Tim Steer stated his property owner, an applicant, he confirmed that the stairs had already been built. I think it was a deck that had been built, not the stairs.
I listened to it very carefully.
Okay.
He said it had already been built, it had already been built.
But it seemed like the stairs weren't built yet, just the deck.
They were completed, but the deck was. They were under construction.
Yeah, none of it was completed.
He said a lot of stuff that night.
Yes, he did.
I understood the concern with that, so I was listening very carefully to what he did say, and he did say that.
And then on C, 1, the top of page 3, the first text there, I want to, and this, I'm clarifying Mr. Brady's comments, so I don't know that see if I capture it more accurately. Mr. Brady introduced the agenda item noting that right now it reads CRMC took control of coastal. I think we should add the words DEM and CRMC in there.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And then at the end of that sentence, to amend section 4.3 of the zoning ordinance, I think, just to be clear, right now it reads to what is currently being reviewed by the board. I would add so that it is accurately reflects what is currently being reviewed by the board.
Okay, if you want to send me that language, that'd be great.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
So, do you want to hold off on this until you get the corrected language, or do you
Well,
adopt it with?
I can get it to her right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so do I have a motion to accept the minutes for September 16th as amended by Rupert?
So moved.
Seconded?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That's done.
Thank you.
All right, Coastal Access Improvement Committee. We actually had two matters that came before us that are going to go as recommendations to the town council. One was we've been working for the last few months with the local anglers, fishermen, and the fact that with the parking restrictions getting tighter and tighter, it's getting more and more difficult for them to legally park and access their fishing holes. And two of the gentlemen came forward with information that Newport has had for a little while now, a permit process that allows fishermen limited access for limited time frames, and they charge a fee for that. And so they brought that to us, we reviewed it, and then they took it on themselves. We had asked them, they rewrote it as if it was a Narragansett ordinance, and we are taking that, and our chairperson, and she is putting a cover letter to that and sending that to the town council for request of approval. Newport collects like $35,000.
Nice.
So they have a two-fee structure.
Their taxes are going down.
They have a two-fee structure. One is $10 for resident, and then the other is a $60 for non-resident. And the anglers pay it, so that would be done. And then the other was a meeting, this has also been ongoing. It was actually not brought up by any of us, it was brought up by a private citizen who is not related to the tribe, but a number of years ago it was extended to the tribe, not extended to the tribe, they have total rights to the shoreline, but to accommodate them and their rights, beach passes were given without a charge. Nobody accommodated for parking for these folks. And so the request, and the town council president was there, he is championing this as well as the committee, is to, and we worked with two of the elders, is to put forth a recommendation to the town council to allot 70, I didn't have my notes, I ran out of the house this afternoon, 70 or 75 permits for the tribe to accommodate families. And that's their big issue, is that they started out, when you look at the numbers, you know, people were saying 3,000 people are going to use it. It's actually, it started off, I think the first year was the max was like 40. And it's dwindled down. It's been consistently 20 to 30, 25 to 30. But they were saying that the difficult part is families can't go because there's no place to park. And so that is going to go forward. So those are two things that worked out real well. There was also discussion.
Before you go on here, the indigenous people here, the tribal people,
yep,
have access to, this is to the beach. Do they have access to the entire shoreline?
Well, they have access, so we're just talking access to the town beach, so that they aren't asked to pay.
Okay.
So they have passes for that, which they should, by rights.
That was discussed.
No, they have access. I mean, their rights are well established, and the history is well established. But this was looking at it and saying, hey, it's underutilized because of the fact that there's no accommodation for families to park, and so that's what's going to go forward. The other thing too was floated out, you know, walk then run, but unfortunately surfers are also getting squeezed out of their ocean access because of parking things. And so the idea was, let's look at this for the anglers, see how it works there, and then look to see if that can also be extended to surfers, the surfing community. So that's what we worked on. Okay. Steve, Land Conservancy Trust?
Sure.
You guys have been busy.
We have been busy. We stay busy over there. So we're still mulling the idea, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, of bringing in a sauna trailer to the Middlebridge property. We're going to see how that goes. I think this last week I did mention I think she'd probably do better at the beach in the off-season in that parking lot, but it's not my attempted business, so what do I know?
Can you explain what it would do?
So there's a private individual who's having a sauna trailer built. So it'll be a wood-fired sauna in the Finnish style, which will be on a trailer, permanently affixed to the trailer. Yeah. So it'll have a road permit and insurance. Yeah. And her idea was to tow it down to Middlebridge in the off season. Although she also maybe floated the idea of not just the off season, but we'll see where that ends up going. And she would charge people to like hourly or per session. Go and use the sauna trailer to have a nice sauna. So Cool.
Yeah, why wouldn't you use it at the beach? Wouldn't you have more volume there?
I don't,
Metal Bridge?
I can't understand.
I guess with
I
the
don't know what she's
computer
thinking,
access
but-
today, it doesn't, you could.
Yeah, I guess you can put it
You
anywhere.
can put it anywhere.
I mean, I'm with you, Doc. I'd much rather do it at the beach and run into the ocean, but what do I know, you know?
Yeah.
Great.
They're pretty cool. And we're also mulling with Keith over the Red House building over there. He wants to remodel it, make it nice, make it storage for some informational stuff, and maybe use it as a staging point to rehab that whole area at Middlebridge. But we don't know what we're gonna do with it yet, so we'll see. But he did give us a picture. I have some pictures of what he wants to do. If you guys wanna take a look through there, it's pretty cute.
Looks like a really nice chicken coop.
Yeah, it does at that. It's not very large, that's for certain. But you know, he's done a lot of work. Oh, I have all my notes in there. He's done a lot of work for the town, and he's done Abcor's done a lot of work rehabbing lighthouses and such. He wants to put a lamp in the cupola there. It's definitely a cool idea, all at his expense, of course, and we're working on that. We'll see where it goes. And other than that, I actually walked the Sunset Farm Trail, which was the bigger hit of the two trails at Gansett Days. I didn't walk it at Gansett Days because I had a bunch of family stuff, but I walked it the other day. It's all clear, easily accessible. I'm a little fat and old to be walking around in the woods, but you know, it was very nice. My sister loved it. Her dog had a great time.
Who maintains the Sunset Trails?
I believe Parks and Rec does, or does
The
Jeff?
the tenant farmer will mow he mows
The
the
tenant
trails.
does.
Awesome.
Okay.
Even better.
Yeah.
Even better. I like that. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I should have asked.
Yeah, well, you want it to be maintained. Yeah.
Yes, it was maintained. It was clearly that somebody had been back there mowing and taking care of it, so it's cool. And we might try and extend it to Palm Beach Ave, perhaps, through a town property. No? Daytona, sorry. Daytona, in that neighborhood, the Briggs Farm neighborhood, because the town owns a couple properties on Daytona. We'll see how that goes, wetlands and such, but I think it's cool. So that could be nice.
All right.
That's great.
Sure.
That's great. Steve.
Chairman, it's not on the agenda, but the liaison for the ad hoc bicycle committee.
Oh, yeah, you're not,
Can I report even though
That
it's
was
not-
my bad.
Can I put it on the agenda, report even though it's not on
He
the
was,
agenda?
he was recently crowned. If you would like to present, we would love to hear from you.
So we had our first meeting. In the meeting, I was shanghaied to be the secretary of the committee.
Well, you got a habit of that, huh?
I didn't duck well enough. And then there was a workshop with the town council, and lots of people attended their first meeting, and lots of people attended the town council workshop, mostly from the neighborhoods where the alternatives are being proposed. And we have another meeting tomorrow night.
Okay, that's public.
Yes.
And where's that located?
Here.
Okay, terrific. All right. 2025 legislative updates. We've been doing this as we are trying to integrate the 2025 zoning ordinances and subdivision ordinances. Zoning, Tom is not here. I can speak for him. We have been working. Ryan did a yeoman's work, and I have to tell you, he did an excellent, excellent job, really kind of trying to interpret things and then make sense of them within our ordinances. There's a lot of it is procedural law, so there's not much that we can do as far as looking at it and saying, okay, that works, but this would work better. That's with content law, but there is some, and we're going to look at that. It's still ongoing. Subdivision regulations?
No update since our last meeting. We're meeting next week.
Okay.
When
Next week.
Tom returns back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for the public, these don't go fast. These are a lot of detailed and minutiae, and they take their time. You've got to work them. So, okay. E3, affordable housing. We have a housing collaborative, and they've been doing great work, and they did a report. But we've also been very passionate about affordable housing, and I applaud everybody here, and Steve, you too, for being champions of it. So we started
Tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Why
Big
not?
fan.
We started a discussion last week. I had asked everybody for the last couple of months to start brainstorming ideas for affordable housing discussions, and that we would come back if people had additional ideas, and then we would formulate some sort of recommendation to the council from this group as well. Having had some time to munch it over and digest it, anybody have anything else they want to add, or new ideas, or comments to the other ideas? So I think in the discussions that I saw, and I'm still reviewing it, from the presentation done to the council on the affordable, a lot of it is the bigger stuff, the more impactful stuff, but the more difficult stuff. You know, we're talking millions and millions of dollars here, and you know, some of the things that we put forward, while may not be comfortable, and I've never been one to shy away from things that are uncomfortable. Some of them are a little bit more short-term implementable, but won't have as great of impact, but could have a small impact. So if you would, if you have any ideas, please do me a favor, go through the list that we did, go through your notes, get any final ideas to somebody on the staff can be point.
Yes,
So Jill,
yes,
over to you.
that'll be me.
All right, and then
One more thing.
yeah, one more thing, just one more thing. And so she came home the other night, and parents are like, the kids are like, "Who are you?" And then if we could have something ready for the next planning board meeting to put together a recommendation to the council. Okay. I have correspondence received by D. Beard.
Yes, so you received.
This is D. Beard?
Yes, he is, yep. So you received a letter
Yep.
from Mr. Bird.
Yep.
About 10, I think about 10 pages or so. It arrived to you last week. Mr. Bird contacted me, Mr. Brady, I think he spoke with you first and you directed him to our office.
Yes, I did.
So he provided us some correspondence on, as you can see on the Boone Street Market. And I'm going to paraphrase what occurred last night, but Mr. Bird presented some of his discussion last night at the town council. The town council did have that public hearing on Boone Street Market last night and ultimately came up with a decision to restrict the hours.
Okay.
So I put this on your agenda just as a correspondence.
Right.
I would caution you against discussing a project
We cannot.
without an application before you.
Right, we cannot. Legally, can I let Mr. Beard just speak without just...
I did talk to her and I understand that point, that, and I'm glad to talk. I think, you know, with the concern, I did talk to you what the concern was in my letter.
Okay. Counsel?
Is that all right, Ms. Abel?
I wouldn't talk.
All right,
Okay.
I won't.
So,
There was progress made from multiple perspectives last night. I wouldn't want to do anything to endanger.
no, not at all. And eventually it
Progress.
could come to us, and I don't want to taint anything anywhere, but Mr. Bird came, so I didn't...
In one way, shape, or form, there'll be a project coming before this board.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Before we close this out, I'm going to, I move chairman's announcement.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry to interrupt you, we do have E6.
E6. Oh, E6, November 18th. Planning board meeting quorum confirmation. With the holidays.
Here?
I'll be here.
Are you in here?
November and December and January get really hairy, so for every board. So,
November 18th.
18th is the next regular planning board.
Check.
okay,
And Doc, you're here, because that's our regular meeting.
regular meeting. If I am here, I will be here.
Okay.
If I am not, I will not be here.
Well said.
So,
Pretty profound.
okay. So, as you all know, my first term is up, and the town council has been soliciting people to take the position, or at least to interview for the position, and they're interviewing on the 17th, and they'll make the decision on the 17th, is what they usually do.
17th of November.
November, yeah, their meeting. I don't think they've been shy about the fact that they're really not interested in me coming back. And that's their prerogative, and I totally respect that. try to give them the best advice I can.
Why?
Um,
Wait,
so,
my sarcasm. So, your term is up the 17th?
my first term is up.
But they're interviewing people the 17th. We're having a meeting the 18th.
Right. So
So
you could have me or the new person on the 18th.
So they could appoint a person, and we could have a new person.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
On the 18th.
That's why I said if I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not.
All right. Gotcha.
So, but anyway, I just would like, very passionate about this board, passionate about the work you guys have done. People don't understand, this is not a come here and meet once a month. I mean, this is a part-time job, and depending on what we have going, it's a full-time job. But I'd like to keep the continuity going. I would, just as present chair, make some recommendations. We elect officers in January typically, so my recommendation is, should I not return, that maybe just to keep continuity through November and December, have Doc move over to this seat and continue that. Also, we need a new appointment to the Coastal Access Improvement Committee. And I know everybody's plates are full, and it kind of went down, okay, who have I overburdened so far? And so I gave buzz to Rupert and see if he would be interested. And would you?
As Mark Twain said, the news of my death is premature.
Well, I'm a realist, so. But I would be elated if it was premature, but we'll see on the 17th. So anyways, I just want to, again, because you don't get a second chance at this, just thank the staff. You guys have been more than amazing. I've been doing this since I was 20 years old, and I have never been more proud and more pleased and more privileged to work with any staff. I thank you. Council, thank you. You have been a delight, and you have been great, both in not only the legal, but also the backstory and the thought process and the logic behind it. Thank you for feeding me for the last 4 years. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys and the people that I have served with in the past, Robin and Terry, and I know I'm going to forget people. But I want to thank the people of Narragansett. This has been an honor and privilege to serve, and I do believe this is a service, and I do believe it is an honor and a privilege. So I thank you very, very much. That said, my favorite Robert's Rules of Order. Do I have a motion to close?
Well, I think we should compliment you.
You know.
I've sat here next to a number of chairs, and you stand out. I have to say that. You're honest, sincere, you're certainly vigorous and vocal, and for the town of Narragansett, I love that when you make those comments. You don't have to be from Narragansett, but there is something about Narragansett and about being here a while.
Yep.
And I think you, regardless of whether you were ever born here or not, you really love it. And that's, thank you for Narragansett.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to close?
Mr. Rating,
But
thank you very much.
thank you.
Mr. Chairman, it was a pleasure.
It was a delight. It really, really was a delight. We've done some heavy lifting too. There has been some trying times, and
Good
you know,
things.
I would be
Good
amiss if I didn't thank Steve for sitting in that chair for the first 3 years or 4 years. I think I've been doing this 4 years now. But Steve was great, and I want to thank the applicants and the attorneys that have stepped before us. They've all been wonderful. I have great relationships with them. They've taught me a lot. They've allowed me to banter with them respectfully, and so this has been a joy. It's been a joy. So. Rupert, anything? Okay, Steve?
Before I move to close here, I'd also like to say, Mark, that your experience has been valuable to the town. We're glad to have you here.
Thanks.
Don't let anybody tell you different, you know, and, you know, go do your interview, man. Let's see
Yeah.
what happens.
Just see.
You've been very respectful, and I appreciated, learning through trials by fire with you guys here. It's been entertaining for sure.
Yeah.
And I've certainly learned a lot.
So it's a little different from the inside than the outside?
It is a little different from the inside.
It is.
It certainly is. I liked it better on the outside, but it's not too bad over here.
Mr.
Well,
Chairman, one of the things
Go ahead.
One of the
Please.
things that you said in your time here has really resonated is that you have a right to do what you want with your property, but with that right comes a responsibility. And that has transpired into a lot of things in my life, so thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I've always tried to look at both sides of all situations, regardless. And Steve, I want to tell you, you've done a great job. I've always been told that people will that this shapes people as much as they do, and I think you and I had a conversation, and I told you at the time I hope that I wasn't insulting, and I think having got to know each other that you realize it wasn't. But I said, don't tell people where you're from, but never forget where you're from. And I think you bring that perspective here, and I've watched you. I don't want to evolve, but yeah, evolve and grow within the scope of what this really is about. And I compliment you. You've done a great job.
Sure, appreciate it.
So, and you've given a great. I've said this to you before, but you've given a great perspective. So, I want to thank Tom. He's not here. He brings a wisdom that I don't have and don't pretend to have. And I think that's the magic of what has allowed us to work. Is we all have our own expertise. We respect each other's decisions and back each other on that. So thank you again. Thank you all of you. It's been a joy. So Steve?
Motion to close the meeting here?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Adjourn.
Non-debatable. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
God bless America.
Thank you. All right.